The Oval Office. Just saying the name sparks curiosity, doesn't it? This iconic room is where history is made, or so we believe. But how much of what we know about the Oval Office is actually true? Buckle up as we dive into the myths, mysteries, and marvels of this legendary space. Myths about the Oval Office. The Oval Office isn't just a room, it's practically a pop culture celebrity, but Hollywood and internet rumors have done a fine job sprinkling a bit of fiction spice over its reality. Myth number 1, there's a secret escape hatch. Let's clear this up. There is no secret trapdoor in the Oval Office for presidents to escape a bad meeting or an alien invasion. Sure, it's fun to imagine President Biden dramatically disappearing through the floor when a reporter asks a tough question. But the truth. The nearest escape is the door to the hallway. Next, the myth is, it's always round for a reason. Some think the Oval Office's shape is all about feng shui or enhancing acoustics for grand speeches. Nope. The real reason is surprisingly practical. To replicate the curve of Washington's earliest meeting rooms. Apparently, architects in the early 90s just loved circles. Then the Resolute Desk has a secret compartment with state secrets. While the Resolute Desk is as iconic as the room itself, it doesn't come with a secret compartment for the nuclear codes. It's a desk, not a James Bond prop. The only thing you'll find in there is paperwork. And maybe some presidential snacks. Where exactly is the Oval Office? You'd think everyone knows where the Oval Office is. Wrong. A surprising number of people believe it's inside the White House residence. Spoiler alert, it isn't. The Oval Office is nestled snugly in the west wing of the White House, an extension that wasn't even part of the original building. President Theodore Roosevelt created the West Wing in 1902, but the Oval Office itself didn't appear until 1909, courtesy of President William Howard Taft. That's right, the room we now associate with every president wasn't even there for the first 100 years of American history. Its location is strategic, close to the Rose Garden, where presidents can sneak outside for fresh air or dramatic press announcements. The space also connects to the president's private study and dining room so they can swiftly move from crisis mode to snack mode. The Resolute Desk. The Resolute Desk. It's not just a piece of furniture, it's a story carved in mahogany. This iconic desk, steeped in history, was crafted from the timbers of the British Arctic exploration ship HMS Resolute. After the ship was abandoned and recovered by the United States, it was restored and returned to Britain as a gesture of goodwill. Later, in 1880, Queen Victoria presented the desk to President Rutherford B. Hayes as a symbol of enduring friendship between the two nations. The desk has graced the Oval Office since Franklin D. Roosevelt moved it there in 1933. But it wasn't always the chosen workspace. Some presidents like Lyndon B. Johnson and Richard Nixon opted for other desks, perhaps because they didn't want to deal with its immense historical weight, or just needed more drawers. One notable alteration to the Resolute Desk came from John F. Kennedy. He commissioned a knee-hole panel emblazoned with the presidential seal, not just for aesthetics, but for privacy. The addition was meant to block prying eyes and camera lenses from capturing unflattering angles of the president's legs. The Resolute Desk isn't just for work. It's a stage where history has unfolded. It has borne the weight of everything from presidential speeches to landmark legislation. It's also a charming relic of personal moments, like the famous photo of young John F. Kennedy Jr. playing underneath it. A symbol of power, legacy, and humanity, the Resolute Desk is as much a character in history as those who sit behind it. Speaking of the Resolute Desk chair, presidents get to choose their own chair as well. Barack Obama preferred a modern, sleek swivel chair, likely to stay comfortable during hours of intense deliberations. On the other hand, Donald Trump's chair was a high-backed leather throne, a fitting choice for someone who preferred to sit in power and grandeur, exuding authority in every room. What's on the walls? The Oval Office isn't just a workspace, it's an ever-changing gallery of art and symbolism, reflecting the taste and ethos of each sitting president. The walls are a canvas for history, patriotism, and a little bit of personality. Front and centre above the mantle, you'll almost always find George Washington's portrait. He's like the steadfast grandpa of the Oval Office. However, presidents often swap out surrounding artwork to set the tone for their administration. Barack Obama, for example, chose the Avenue in the Rain by Childe Hassam, an impressionist painting featuring a flag-lined street to evoke themes of resilience and national pride. Sculptures also play a starring role. Abraham Lincoln, a perennial favourite, is immortalised in various busts, from Augustus St. Gordon's elegant works to more modern interpretations. But Western bronzes like Frederick Remington's The Bronco Buster hold a special place. Ronald Reagan famously displayed it, a nod to his Hollywood cowboy days and love for rugged individualism. Beyond tradition, presidents occasionally get creative. Lyndon B. Johnson installed sconces for mood lighting, while Richard Nixon added Earthrise, a photograph of Earth taken from the Apollo 8 mission, signalling a forward-looking vision. Each piece tells a story, offering insight into a president's priorities, personality, and the legacy they aim to leave behind. Together, the walls of the Oval Office are a dynamic tribute to the country's past, present, and future, changing as much as the leaders who occupy the room. Rugs, floors, and furniture. Every president gets a custom-made rug for the Oval Office. It's like a giant mood board for their administration. For example, George W. Bush's rug featured radiant sunbeams, a hopeful symbol he chose post 9/11. Barack Obama went with a more understated wheat and blue design, reflecting a calm and contemplative vibe. Donald Trump, unsurprisingly, picked a bold gold and white rug. What happens to these rugs after a president leaves office? They're sent to storage or presidential libraries. Imagine having a rug so historic that it requires a temperature-controlled room. But the rug is only one part of the Oval Office's fascinating design history. The floor itself has had its own transformation over the years. The original cork flooring couldn't stand up to Dwight Eisenhower's love for golf, as his golf spikes left unsightly marks all over the place. So, it was replaced with wood grain linoleum in the 1960s, then later upgraded to oak and walnut. The current floor, installed in 2005 by George W. Bush, features a striking cross-pattern design that screams presidential in every way. Now let's talk furniture, because of course no one is simply sitting in any old chair in the Oval Office. The furniture changes with every new administration to suit the president's taste, though some items are standard. The two sofas in the Oval Office are replaced with almost every new president to match the rug's colour scheme. There's even a hidden heating vent under the Resolute Desk, likely placed for presidents who are constantly pacing, or let's face it, those who just like to keep warm during long meetings. Secrets of the Resolute Desk drawer. Okay, so the Resolute Desk doesn't come with a secret compartment filled with hidden treasures unless you count a few rogue pens and paper clips. But don't be fooled, it's far from ordinary. Each president leaves behind their own quirky mementos in the desk drawers, adding a personal touch to this historic piece of furniture. For instance, Barack Obama, ever the family man, tucked away notes from his daughters, Malia and Sasha, perhaps as a reminder of what truly matters. Donald Trump, known for his bold persona, reportedly kept a stash of Sharpies ready to leave his unmistakable signature on every document he touched. And then there's Joe Biden, who's rumoured to have filled the drawers with lucky charms, including rosary beads for a spiritual boost and a few dog toys for his German Shepherd commander, ensuring that even the Resolute Desk is a home for his four-legged family members. These little personal items offer a glimpse into the human side of the presidents who sit behind it, proving that even in the most powerful office in the world, there's room for a little personal flair. What you don't see on TV? The Oval Office, often seen as a pristine symbol of power on TV, is actually a whirlwind of activity behind the scenes. Far from the serene, polished image the public gets, the room is often buzzing with staff, advisors, and security personnel. These individuals are constantly nearby, ready to assist the president at a moment's notice. And then, of course, there are the pets. Presidential pets have an open-door policy in the Oval Office, adding a touch of chaos to the otherwise formal atmosphere. From John F. Kennedy's beloved dogs to Joe Biden's German Shepherd Commander, these furry companions have roamed freely during high-stakes meetings. Picture a serious discussion on national security being interrupted by a dog barking for treats or demanding belly rubs. It's enough to make you wonder if there's a more relaxed side to the Oval Office than we usually see. Apart from this, the Oval Office has been a backdrop for countless oddities over the years. Lyndon B. Johnson, notorious for his informal style, would hold meetings while showing off his surgery scars, often making everyone uncomfortable. Richard Nixon, in his own unconventional way, installed a secret recording system in the office, which didn't age well and ultimately became a scandalous part of his legacy. And let's not forget Bill Clinton, who once gave Bono of U2 a tour of the office, only for the rock star to casually rest his feet on the Resolute Desk, a bold move that added a touch of rock and roll to the otherwise serious setting. What happens after hours? The Oval Office isn't just for official duties, it's also a space for personal moments. Presidents often work late into the night, but when the day winds down, they may call family, unwind, or even play fetch with their dogs. Some have even been known to take quick naps on the iconic sofas, perhaps catching up on sleep between important calls and decisions. If those walls could talk, they'd likely whisper, "Someone snored here last night." So, while the Oval Office stands as the symbol of power, it's also a space of quiet moments and comfort behind closed doors. And as for presidential secrets, well, they remain secrets tucked away in history. Until next time, stay tuned for more behind-the-scenes revelations in our next video.